National Football League announcing, as expected, as reported, for weeks, if not months, the NFL's new TV deals, reportedly $10 billion per year. They get tacked on to the end of the existing deals. For the most part, it's a continuation. There are some new tweaks, Shireen, but the bottom line is significant money for the NFL and significant certainty for the legacy networks that may be, frankly, obsolete 10 years from now. Sorry, as part of the NBC family, but this may be the last deal that goes to NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox. By the time we get to the next deal, it may be Amazon, YouTube, Netflix, Hulu taking over these contracts and taking over the broadcasting world.
And we already see, Mike, Amazon taking over the Thursday night package coming up this season, or when the next TV package takes effect, they'll have the Thursday night deal. So we're already seeing that move being made. But yeah, it's going to be whoever forks over the most money. I am curious what some of these players think who are getting squeezed right now. Are they happy about this because they see potential money down the road, or are they mad right now because they see the owners getting even more billions than what they were getting while they're getting squeezed this year with the lower salary cap?
Yeah, and look, the bottom line is the NFL is going to continue to make a ton of money going forward with the gambling proliferation. The games will be more valuable. The league will be more valuable. The teams will be more valuable. I had an owner tell me late in the 2020 season that before too long, these teams are going to be worth $10 billion each. Not just the Cowboys, all teams, even the teams that currently are worth maybe $2 billion. That's where this is moving, as the NFL continues to be the one property that can gather live eyeballs. The audience fractures. People watch things on a binge basis. How many shows really at this point, Shireen, do people feel compelled to stop everything they're doing and watch as they're broadcast for the first time? The NFL is the only entity that can do that. And as more types of betting are available, specifically in-game betting, and it is coming, you have to watch the game live or there's no way to get in on the action.
Yeah, and you saw the Oprah interview, which was touted as everyone watched the Oprah interview, and then you compare it to the NFL season, and it didn't compare. There is no comparison. The NFL rules the TV world right now, Mike, and it gets the most eyeballs of anything. Even when the numbers fall, we've seen it in years when the numbers have fallen, but it's still better than anything else on TV right now. So it does rule the TV world, Mike.
The details are fairly simple because there isn't much in the way of change. NBC keeps Sunday Night Football. ESPN will have Monday Night Football. I believe when the dust settles, it will be ESPN with some ABC simulcast. There will be multiple weeks with two games, not just week one, with the second game on ABC, the first game on ESPN, second game ABC presumably and ESPN. And later in the year, there'll be two games that are scheduled, and they'll determine the order later in the year, with the better game going late and the lesser game going early. I think that's where it's moving, as the NFL begins the process of carving out more windows. That's the other thing to watch as we move forward. Two games on Monday, Tuesday Night Football, Wednesday Night Football, to go with Thursday Night Football. More windows, more opportunities for people to cluster around one game and bet on the things that happen as the games are unfolding. The Sunday packages in the afternoon are the same. The NFC package on CBS, or on Fox, excuse me, it was on CBS back when we were kids, Shireen, but not anymore. The AFC package on CBS. The NFC package a little more valuable because of the Dallas Cowboys, plain and simple. And that Thursday night package, it starts in 2023 on Amazon because Fox already has bought it through 2022. None of the broadcast networks wanted it. You know, it gives you the power to own a night on the primetime schedule. It ultimately got to the point where it wasn't worth it because you had to pay the NFL a premium. You only had a certain number of games. I think it was 10 that actually were on the three-letter network. The other games were exclusive to NFL Network. You had to pay for the production costs in the entirety. And after it cycled through CBS, then CBS sharing with NBC, then Fox took the whole thing over. The major networks said, the hell with this, it's too expensive. Amazon, though, this is a great opportunity for them to deepen the relationship with the league and to show what they can do. And here's where Amazon has value. And I know that a lot of people are going to complain because they don't have Amazon Prime. Well, you're going to have to get Amazon Prime if you don't have it. It's $99 a year. They're probably going to jack up the price. You get all sorts of video. You get audio. You get quick delivery of all the stuff you buy. Not that it's free, but if you want to see those Thursday night games and you don't live in the markets, because I'm sure that the games will be broadcast on free TV in the markets for the teams involved, you're going to have to get Amazon Prime. But here's the key, Shireen. And someone explained this to me several years ago when Amazon started to emerge as a player for these rights. Anytime you watch an Amazon Prime game, because you will have an Amazon Prime account and you will have a browsing history and you will have a purchase history through your Amazon Prime account, what will happen is not only will you be targeted with ads based upon your buying habits and your overall net worth and earning potential based upon what you buy and how often you buy it. For example, brands like Ferrari never are going to buy an ad for a nationally televised game because a small fraction of the audience is ever even going to be in a position to consider buying one. But on Amazon Prime, they will know all the people who have browsed Ferraris, all the people who seem to have the money to buy a Ferrari, and they'll get highly concentrated targeted ads. And beyond that, Shireen, let's say that you buy, for me, I buy my shaving cream 3 tubes at a time, 3 cans at a time, big cans of Edge, free advertising for Edge, sensitive skin, orange top. I get 3 cans at a time. And what it'll do, and I get it on Amazon, and what'll happen, I'll get a commercial for Edge shaving cream, and there'll be a button that I can press to reorder my Edge shaving cream, just like that transaction done during the commercial. That's where the value is to Amazon.
Yeah, no question, Mike, and we're going to begin to see that, and it'll be interesting to see where this relationship goes. And we saw Amazon had the one game last year, a Saturday game, the Cardinals, and I can't even remember who the Cardinals were playing. I do remember it was the Cardinals, and I didn't even realize I had Amazon Prime, but I didn't realize I never watched Amazon Prime on TV, and got it. I was like, oh, I have this, and watch the game. But there's going to be a lot of that where I think it's going to be really valuable for Amazon, because I think people are going to go get it. They're going to see it as a great value because you can order stuff on Amazon and you can go watch NFL games, oh, by the way. So I think this is a great move by Amazon, and I think this relationship, Mike, is only going to grow.
And I don't want to do any free advertising here for Amazon, and to the extent that Amazon Prime has a video service, it competes with Peacock. But here's the reality. 6-7 years ago, my wife told me about Amazon Prime, and she got it because it allowed her to get the stuff that she ordered quickly, and it had special deals and priority stuff and free shipping. And I started poking around. It's like, you got all these shows you can watch. Look, I didn't know anything about it. It's all these movies, all these shows that are on Amazon Prime included in the price. And again, it's an annual fee, and it's probably more than $99 a year now. And if it isn't, it will be. But that's where it's moving. And another thing to keep in mind, when this deal ends and Amazon and YouTube and the other major digital companies swoop in, I think what could happen, you could see a situation where the digital companies buy an entire window and they assume the streaming rights for that window, and then they sell directly to the broadcast networks the packages that will allow the games to be televised as they normally have. So the digital companies that buy the global rights will become the middle people for the end result with NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, to the extent that those networks even still exist 10 years from now. I mean, the world has changed. Look at the focus that NBC is putting on Peacock. We're on Peacock streaming. You can watch it live. You can watch it whenever. And if you start looking around Peacock, there's so much stuff there. You don't need any other streaming service. You don't need Amazon Prime except during football season so you can watch the Thursday night game starting in 2023. But I mean, the world has changed dramatically over the past 20 years. It's almost logarithmic, like the earthquake scale. I think it's going to change faster and faster and faster as we get deeper and deeper into this decade. And by the end of the decade, it'll be dramatically different than it is now.
And here's the real question, Mike. Will you and I, who, by the way, right now are not the same age, but will be in a couple months from now, will we still be doing this when that happens?
Well, if I'm alive, I mean, I plan on dying with my boots on. And there's no reason to retire. There's no reason to stop. And so I'm going to work until the day that I drop dead, maybe during the show. That would make for a highly viewable YouTube clip if I were to drop dead during the broadcast. One last thing. The commissioner said in a conference call today that the league is going to take up the question of the 17-game season at the annual meetings that will be held virtually March 30 and 31. I'm told it's a done deal. They're doing the 17 games. They wanted to get these TV contracts in place so they know what they'd get paid for the 17 games. Now that they do, the 17 games will happen. The only issue that was left was whether to have 3 preseason games or 2 to give to the union when you go to 18. So you stick with 3 preseason games. So when it's time to go to 18, and to 18 they will go, that's when you say, hey, by the way, we'll go to 2 preseason games. If you go to 2 now, you got nothing to give them. So 17-3. It's been 20 for years. When we were kids, Shireen, it was 14-6. Yeah. 78, it became 16-4. Now it's going to be 17-3. Eventually, it'll be 18-2. And I think to expand the inventory beyond that, what will happen is, I believe, they'll expand the league at some point, and hopefully we'll be alive for that to happen, because that's probably, I'd say, 10 to 15 years away. But don't be surprised, because the NFL does these things. You know, they plant the seeds, they talk about it, it comes up, they deny it, right? I think at some point in the next 2 or 3 years, once the gambling really takes off, they're going to realize more teams equals more games equals more money, and there will be more teams in the NFL. And, Shireen, there's enough quarterbacks now to justify it. A few years ago, it never would have worked. Now there's enough quarterbacks. That's the key, to have 34 or 36 teams if they do that.
And I'll be interested, too, Mike. Are we ever going to have a spring season to take off, especially when gambling comes in? And will the XFL come back? Will people be interested in this game year-round, whether it's the NFL or another league? That will be interesting to see.
And let me tell you, if I had the money to do it, and if I had the money and I wanted to buy an NFL team and they wouldn't let me in the club, I would create a minor league that played on Tuesday and Wednesday nights. That's why the NFL better start thinking about finding ways to put games on Tuesday and Wednesday nights, because those nights are screaming out. And I've been saying this for the past 3 years with the AAF and the XFL. I don't care about spring football, and I don't know that gambling is going to make me care about spring football. I want football during football season. Drop those games on Tuesday and Wednesday night. And I really do believe if the NFL ever thought someone was going to do that, it would be like when they did the broadcast of Fox's In Living Color during halftime live of a Super Bowl. That's what woke the NFL up and got the NFL to start having real halftime shows during the Super Bowl. If someone would drop a competitive league on Tuesday and Wednesday nights, it wouldn't be more than a year or two that the NFL would definitely put games on Tuesday nights. But that's where it's all going. More windows, more games, more inventory, more opportunities for you to watch on TV, pick up your cell phone device, and wager a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there as the game unfolds. And the one thing they have to solve technologically, when you turn on your TV, you want to be able to see what's happening in the stadium as it's happening. And right now, Shireen is in Texas. I'm in West Virginia. It's all flowing through Connecticut. And I can see my hand. There is no lag because I can see the monitor below me. And there is no lag between my hand. A little bit of a lag. And they'll get to the point where there's none. Everything you see at home is going to be what's coming from the stadium. When they do that, that's when everything explodes, Shireen.
Well, I need you to come fix my monitor, Mike, because I can't see anything right now. The first time I've been without a monitor, so.
Then I won't use any of the hand gestures that are among the favorite
Thank you.
Of Chris Sims. And I won't be eating any hamburgers that I drop onto the floor at the airport.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.